9 cries for help, all coming from the same planet.
Oh, another cheery one.
Here we go.
Hello, and welcome to Digital Spy's latest Doctor Who video review. It's the final episode for 3 weeks. The Battle of Ranskoor Av Kolos, yep, I got it right, is a perfectly decent episode of Doctor Who. But it's hard to shake the feeling throughout that there's something missing, a true sense of the epic that a finale really needs to set it over the top. Partly that's as a result of this series' more episodic style of storytelling. It's made it more accessible, but it's also robbed it of a sense of momentum. The finale has arrived feeling almost like any other episode, with little sense of build-up or anticipation. There's no payoff here to a grand old Bad Wolf-style story arc, and that wouldn't be so big a problem if the episode had a compelling enough narrative of its own. But like It Takes You Away last week, this episode's enjoyable, but all a bit muddled, with too many ideas vying for attention. In particular, the planet emitting violent psychotropic waves that make you question your sense of self is a fascinating concept that isn't explored enough. It ends up as just a plot device, with Mark Addy's lone soldier pal Traki remaining amnesiac just long enough for the Doctor to piece together herself what's going on. The episode does, however, have one saving grace, no pun intended. Where it succeeds is in paying off this series' biggest emotional arc, Graham, and to a lesser extent Ryan, learning to deal with the loss of Grace. Tooth-faced Tim Shaw might not have been all that memorable an antagonist, but his return here unlocks the most fascinating part of this episode, Graham's inner conflict. Eventually he opts to take the moral high ground and spare his wife's killer, as we always knew he would, but it's still satisfying to see him tussle with that choice. The brief scene in which Graham confesses his plan to avenge Grace, admitting his willingness to defy the Doctor and even give up life on the TARDIS, is one of the most powerful moments we've had in the series so far. Fantastic work from Jodie Whittaker and Bradley Walsh. Grappling with how best to get justice for Grace is a decent series payoff, not just for Graham as a character, but for his growing relationship with Ryan too. It feels truthful that Ryan accepting Graham as his surrogate granddad wasn't a fix-all. They still have issues to hash out and feelings to talk through.
We're family. And I love you.
What did you just say?
I'm not saying it twice. Don't pretend you couldn't hear me the first time.
But while it delivers a couple of decent emotional payoffs, the Battle of Ranskoor Av Kolos still lacks a sense of grandeur that we've come to expect from Doctor Who series enders. It doesn't help, of course, that we're now being teased with what looks to be a genuine blockbuster on New Year's Day, with Daleks. Beyond just the New Year pun, the title Resolution does suggest that the special will act as a more proper climax to this series of Doctor Who. If that's the case, then the Battle of Ranskoor Av Kolos works well enough as a mini finale of sorts. Not entirely satisfying, but enough to hold us over for 3 weeks, providing that January 1st delivers the goods. Now, on to this week's big Doctor Who questions. Number 1. Was everything that happened this week the Doctor's fault? Much as we hate to agree with him, Tim Shaw is kind of right. It was the Doctor's tampering that trapped him on Ranskoor Av Kolos. If she sent him back to the Stenza homeworld, then no damage, no foul. But her meddling led to him being adopted by the Ux as a false god, which led to him killing dozens in the battle. Awkward. Number 2. Why didn't the Ux turn on Tim Shaw? Okay, so we've heard of blind faith, but Tim was clearly a bad dude. The Doctor asks Sandinio why she let Sang die, but never really gets an answer. We think the Ux got off easy on this one. Number 3. Have we seen the last of Tim Shaw? Graham opts to be the better man and spare Tim, locking him away in stasis. But is it a decision that Team TARDIS will come to regret? The last time they let Tim off with a warning, things didn't turn out so well. Number 4. Did you catch those references to classic episodes? As she attempts to use the TARDIS's telepathic circuits to boost the Ux's powers, the Doctor mentions that she once used the ship to tow Earth halfway across the universe. That's a reference to Series 4's 2-part finale, The Stolen Earth / Journey's End. The Doctor also mentions having turned a Slitheen back into an egg, a nod to Series 1's Boomtown that, let's be honest, no one saw coming. Number 5. Wait, what was up with the Timeless Child? Remember back in episode 2, The Ghost Monument, when the Remnants dropped a chilling hint to the Doctor about the Timeless Child? That's good because Doctor Who itself seems to have forgotten all about it. For whatever reason, that thread was never revisited in Series 11. Maybe one for Series 12 in 2020, or even New Year's Day. Speaking of which. Number 6. Are we getting Daleks on New Year's Day? There's no question that Resolution looks epic. Car chases, big battles, and the Doctor and co facing the most dangerous creature in the universe. That creature is never identified, but it's got to be, hasn't it? Well, either the Daleks or the Bating.
Who are you?
Can't remember my name.
Where is the object?
I know that voice.
Thanks for joining us. See you on New Year's Day, and for more Doctor Who news and features, be sure to head to digitalspy.com.